This is a taxi in Japan. First of all, this one has phone chargers. That's great. In this video, I'm going to talk about, oh, and you can pay right here. I'm going to talk about the taxi culture in Japan and also a little bit of Yokohama because that's where I am right now driving around. In Yokohama, I'm going to the Red Brick District, which I could have done with subway, but this was quicker in a taxi, and we get to see a little bit of the city. First of all, Yokohama is a industry business city, so it's very different from like Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo. I feel like if you want to see how like working Japanese people live, this is the city to come to, because as you're gonna see here, and I think we're driving in a pretty like busy area, you're not gonna see big crowds of tourists. There are tourists here because Yokohama has the biggest Chinatown in Japan, and also the Red Brick Warehouse. It's a like a shopping center now, but it used to be a port, an import port. And it is the first port that opened to the public to receive imports from other countries. So it is a huge part of Japanese history, and it is definitely like a tourist trap. People I've saw like they're like what is that? Cruises come to the port, so it does like release tourists to go and walk around, explore. But the Red Brick District warehouse, it is a fun thing to see. There's nothing too super special. It's just a lot of very very overpriced shopping stalls and little stores. But the Chinatown, oh my god, that was amazing, so beautiful. I went at the end of the day when it was still light, a little bit light, but it was getting dark, so I got to see it during light time and at nighttime, and it was so beautiful. I loved it, and there was beautiful temples and just so much vibrance, and it was beautiful. But taxis, there's a few things to know about Japanese taxis. First of all, the door. When you get a taxi, you do not have to open the door. The door will automatically open to you and close. The driver has a button that he presses and the door opens and then closes as well. We ordered the taxi on Uber, but you can also get a taxi on yourself. However, you cannot just jump in. There are taxi stops like this one. I saw that one in Tokyo. I was looking for a cab and I saw one, and I said, hey, are you available? And he said, oh no, I have to go to a taxi stop. It's kind of like a bus stop but for taxis, and I think it's really fair to the taxi drivers because everyone gets the opportunity to have a passenger and make some money. It's basically like a bus stop. You find it wherever you are, you have to like find the nearest one, you go there and you get in line because there's going to be people in line in front of you, and taxis also line up to pick up the next passenger. And I think it's so fair because every driver gets a passenger, so I think that system is great. There's also rules inside the taxi cab, and one of them is to be quiet. Yes, there are stories that tourists have been kicked out of taxis because they were too loud. So try not to talk, or like if you do have to talk, just be like very quiet and like kind of whisper, but do not be on the phone. Pretty much same as in a subway station, so not that big of a difference. Pretty much every driver speaks English, or at least in the taxis I've been in. Did I mention I ordered a taxi on Uber? I think I did. Now for the tipping. A lot of us know that it is rude to tip in restaurants. And often, if you tip at restaurants, they will follow you and give you your money back. However, in taxis, you can tip if you want. And I think a lot of people choose not to because we tipped him some like change we had. It was just way too heavy. And he was shocked. And he was just so thankful. I was like, it's not much. It's too heavy for me, so here you go. But yeah, the ride was great, pretty fast, and Uber. Taxi is pretty cheap. Like it's gonna be just a few dollars for like a 10-minute ride. Like 10-minute ride would cost maybe like $6. Yeah, about it. Yeah. But that also depends on where you're going, or where you're coming from. If you're coming from the airport to your hotel, then obviously they're going to take advantage of it and make that price higher. But we just went like in the city from one location to the other, nothing special. It wasn't rush hour, so it was pretty cheap. That's why we chose a taxi instead of a very long subway, which I do like subways, but a taxi was just more convenient this time. Back to Yokohama. I really like this city. However, where we stayed at by the port, it wasn't very like nightlife friendly. If you want nightlife in Yokohama, get your hotel near the train station. Over here in the business district, there's not much going on at night. There's like a couple of restaurants, but nothing fun to do. All the fun stuff are near the train station, and there's also way more restaurants at the train station, and every train station in Japan has a ton of restaurants too, so way more option than if you come out to here to the city. But do visit here even for just a day to go check out the Chinatown, because that was so fun. And then we also did the Skytram. That was fun too. It was very slow, so we got to see a lot. I think I have a video up of that, but that was it for taxis in Japan. Pretty easy, just be nice, and of course the door, don't try to open the door because you can hurt yourself. But this is the hotel I was staying at, the Hilton in Yokohama, at the port. Very important, at the port, because I think they have another location too.